Welcome to another variation problem. Let's start by reading the problem. In their study of human genetic grouping, anthropologists used the cephalic index to estimate the dimensions of bones. The cephalic index varies directly as the width of the head and inversely as the length of the head when viewed from the top. I'm going to stop there because I have read the relationship between all of the variables. It's in the second sentence. So in the second sentence, I read the cephalic index, so that is the subject of the sentence. It varies, that is my verb. Directly, so that is that relationship, as the width of the head. And inversely, there's another relationship, as the length of the head. I'm going to start my problem by defining all my variables. So the first thing I underlined was cephalic index. I'm going to use C for cephalic index. Next, I'm going to use W for width, and I'm going to use L for length. Now I want to put these variables together in an equation called a model. So the subject of my sentence, cephalic index, the verb is varies, which is the equal sign, and K always follows the equal sign. After that, I see my relationship word of directly in reference to the width. So I'm going to multiply the K times the W. I also see the relationship of inversely when referring to length. So I'm going to take this entire amount and divide it by L. So we have set up is referred to in our notes as a combined variation. There are two factors that are affecting the cephalic index. Our third step is always to find the value for K. So in order to do this, I need to keep reading and find a set of numbers to fill into this equation. It says a complete skull yielded the following measurements: cephalic index of 75, width of 6, and length of 8. So that gives me the set of numbers that allows me to find K. So cephalic index of 75 equal to K times 6 for the width divided by 8. In order to solve this equation, first thing I'm going to do on both sides is multiply by 8. On the left-hand side, 8 times 75 is 600. On the right-hand side, the 8's cancel. So I have K times 6. So to continue solving, I'll divide both sides by 6. And this gives K is equal to 100. I move on to the fourth part, which is actually solving the question. So it tells me, estimate the length of a second incomplete skull believed to be from the same people group, given that the skull had a width of 8.1 inches. So the fact that it's from the same people group allows me to use the same cephalic index, so I put the 75 for my C value. I know K to be 100. I am given that the skull had a width of 8.1, so I'm able to fill that in. And then I'm asked to find the length, so my unknown is L. When I have an unknown in the denominator of a fraction, one easy way to solve is to put the other side of the fraction over 1 so that it looks like a proportion, and then I can cross multiply. So on this diagonal I have 75L is equal to, and on this diagonal I have 1 times 100 times 8.1, which is 810. And then I divide by 75 on both sides. And the 75's cancel, so I get the length is equal to 10.8 inches. You'll notice that in this problem, I'm not asked to give any explanation of K. I personally don't know enough about skulls to know what the meaning of K would be. And so perhaps to an anthropologist, K does have some meaning and they know why that constant is that number, but perhaps it just incorporates a number of different variables, and so that the constant is useful but doesn't have a specific label to it.